Hello and good morning. Today is the day after Memorial Day, and for you guys, it's a week later. But today's show here on Fitness, Food, and Finance, where I'm trying to help you lay a firm foundation in those things, we're going to talk about the latest questions, like what's going on in the fitness industry, what are the latest trends, what are most people Googling and searching for, and so we are going to talk about things like wearable technology, high-intensity training, coaching versus training, health versus wellness, functional training, digital health technologies, yoga, emotional wellness, intellectual wellness, social wellness, body image, nutrition. So we're going to come through all those questions. I am Andy McCann. I am your host for today. Potentially this summer, Evan or Levi may join me for a conversation. Actually, I do owe a Where Are We Now on Crohn's. Actually, we should list out all the things that Evan is doing. I should do that again. He's doing well. He lost a little bit of weight. He's back down to like 130, so we need to get him back up. He got a cold from somebody, and that kind of like turned him down. So I guess fighting two things at once wasn't good, but he's back on track. And we're looking for good things this summer. He's got a good protocol of things to do and foods to eat and so forth. Okay, guys, if you are here in Woodstock, come to the gym, CrossFit Garage. We're right across from Black Rifle Coffee. If you have a kid who's interested in learning to lift or you want them to learn to lift, we got summer strength for students. I guess if you're listening to this right now, it's starting today at 10 a.m. Come to the gym. It's not too late. After the first 2 weeks, it's too late. But we'll take your kid, I guess, on one-on-one training if you want. We also have, if you're like, hey, I don't really ever want to go to a CrossFit gym, but I would like to do CrossFit. I have a home gym, and I'm pretty good at what I've got. We have a home gym option. One is if I have no gear. If you have no gear whatsoever, if you go to CrossFitGarage.com/WOD, so workout of the day, and you scroll down, you'll see the at-home version of the workout. Usually it assumes you've got at least some dumbbells. So we break it apart for that. You also can go to garagefitness.online, and we have a full service opportunity here. So if you got a full gym and you want to do the whole thing, go here, sign up. Currently it's free. It'll probably be free through the end of this year as we build this puppy out. If you're looking for other resources, if you go to CrossFitGarage.com/free, you'll find everything that I've been putting together as I do these podcasts for us or for the Survival Podcast, where I'm an expert council member. If you're looking for a new podcast or a book, I do something for the Survival Podcast. It's Jack Spirko's podcast, and he just wrote a book. This is going to show up backwards, but it's called The Laws of Life. And it's basically a lot of things he says in his podcast. He's just bringing it together in a book. If you've got somebody who's maybe in the ages of 15 to 35, this is a good book for them. I think kind of if you're over 35 and you don't have these lessons already learned, then you're kind of screwed anyway. So maybe you should listen to it or read it. If you're on the younger side, like if you have kids in high school or college, I think this is a good one, a good book. It says all the things that we would normally say. It's just not us saying it. There is some profanity in it, which it doesn't ever drop the F-bomb, but uses other words when appropriate. It's a good book. You guys should take a peek at it. Okay, so on to the questions. I did ask a few people, hey, what are some questions you've been pondering with regards to health and fitness? And let me jump in to answer them. So I got a list of them, and then I went into Brave Search and said, hey, what are the common things people are asking for? So I merged them all together to give you a show today, or a lesson today. What is this, a podcast episode? Something about what I think on these things. And I don't think, if you've been listening for a while, I don't think you're going to be surprised. All right, so here we go. Wearable tech. So you got something on your wrist like a Fitbit or an Orion ring or something, and you're having wearable tech. So it's something you're wearing. It could be during sleep, could be during wake, could be the whole time. Maybe you never take it off. Why are you wearing it and what is it doing? Another one would be like a continuous glucose monitor. If you aren't really struggling with glucose, I don't know why you're monitoring it, but in general, my answer to all this is they're pretty dumb. It's just a cool thing to do, to try, and yes, if I could, the dictator inside of me says I would make everybody wear them and everybody use them. The problem is people don't ever really use the data they collect. So they get data and then they don't do anything with it. And I just think that's dumb. So for the most part, if you're not going to take the easy step, then why would you take this step? So an easy step would be like track your food on an app via your phone or something, and then log it for 2 weeks and have someone else look at it with you. That's really easy. It's cheap and it's free. But you guys won't do it. So for whatever reason, people don't do the easy stuff. Just start walking. I'd rather track to see if I'm healthy. Well, here's the question. Do you do anything? No. Oh, okay. Well, then I can already tell you, you're not healthy and fit. I had somebody, who was it? Asked me the other day about getting oh man, what? It was the device. Hey, should I get the device? And I said, hey, no, I take it back. It was supplements. What do you think about supplements for recovery? And I said, are you stretching and rolling after you work out? And he said, no. I said, well, I would do that first. Not only is it free, it's like it moves the needle a bunch, whereas the bits, the supplements, the wearables don't really move the needle unless you're actually using the data. And even then, how valid is the data? How long do you want to use it for? Okay, so do I wear any of those things? The answer is no. If I could, I would tell everybody to wear them. Yes, so I know I'm a hypocrite. Problem is, like I said, people don't use the data. They don't do anything with it. I have something maybe better for you. What is it called? It's on my free page. It's the 60 Easy. That's what it is. Go to 60 Easy. It's of the 5 pillars, how you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. It's one thing of those each month, 12 months, 60, that you could do. I would do that. They're easy. It's free. Do that first. Listen to some podcasts. Do something. A step forward is better than a technology reading the information. So there are some great pros. It does track some stuff. It allows you to see a problem that you may not know. There are a lot of cons. You actually have to wear the stuff and use the data. Now, you could also use the data incorrectly. So talk to somebody about it, somebody who else is using it. Or I guess you could probably, I bet you could take all your data, throw it into Chat GPT or whatever AI tool you're using and ask it, hey, tell me about this. I've done that with my blood work. So blood work is not a wearable, but it is a data point. And when you get that data point, do you do anything with it? Again, the bad part is sometimes you get the wrong details on the data point. Like I had my buddy said he had his cholesterol measured, and I said, did you have the advanced lipid study done? And he said, no, but I'll ask. And so we asked the, I guess it was a nurse practitioner or something that he went in to see, and they're like, no, what is that? So if the person doing the measurements don't even know what the other tests to be done are, then I don't know, that's just not a very informed person. So make sure you have somebody that's informed. The other is read the dang manual. If you're going to buy the tool and put it on your finger or your arm or whatever, read the manual to make sure you know you're doing what you're doing. Because if you don't track all the data correctly or you don't size it for yourself, so typically they're going to ask you, how old are you, how tall are you, and what is your weight? If you don't know those things or know you should enter it, then you're not getting the best data you could. And if you're going to get that thing anyway, spend the extra time, watch some videos, ask ChatGPT, how should I be using this, right? So there are real life examples where the wearables did pan out. So I think during those 2 weeks to flatten the curve, people were wearing maybe it was the Whoop or the iWatch, but anyway, it would give you your heart rate variability, so HRV, and you could see your heart start to work more as you were getting sick. So it was a precursor to actually the symptoms of sickness. So your heart knew ahead of time because your body was ramping up. So they could tell with this, or maybe my sleep was off. So that was awesome. If you use the technology like that, if you look at it and you're like, well, whatever, I'm still going to go do whatever as you do, like you might want to go to the gym and take it easy. Or, I don't know, take some vitamin C or whatever it is you do to work yourself out of being sick. I think if you're not pairing this information with a mentor or a coach or AI, then you're doing it wrong. I would say it's wasting your money. Okay, so the next one is HIIT, high intensity interval training. Basically, that is CrossFit, except CrossFit goes across more lines. So CrossFit would say constantly varied functional movements. So constantly varied, today could be a 10K day. You could go out and run or bike or row a 10K. Or it could be a heavy lift day. It's just 7 1-rep lifts on a deadlift. That could be it. So high intensity training doesn't ever have that. They always have stations. If I had to pick what would I do, man, I think I've said this one before. I would do thrusters. That would be like if I could only do one thing, I would just get a couple sets of dumbbells and do thrusters. But I don't have to pick, and I can do more. So I would keep it constantly varied. I'm 51, and I'm feeling pretty dang good. My health and outlook and my life expectancy and my health expectancy is way above my age group's norm. And I think it's probably way above most people's norm. I eat really well and I move. So I think those are the easy answers. I do have on the Slash Free website that I was telling you about, you can take how healthy well, that's not right. It says how health are you quiz. It should be how healthy are you quiz. There is that. And then I've got the your expiration date quiz. That's a good one. Basically some questions. I drop it into ChatGPT and then it gives you its answer. I should go look that up real quick and see if anybody else has given me more questions. Hold on. Nope, no more. I'm still at the same number. So anyway, I'll reset that so I can see the number click up easier. Anyway, so high intensity interval training. Yes, you should do that. If I had to pick anything, it would be that over most things. CrossFit before that. I got a buddy, Ken Daniel. Actually, I should go through his whole... I'll try to have him on the podcast. He has had a massive transformation. Finally went back to the doctor after they said, hey, you're going to die soon, basically. It wasn't that, but it was close. And they said, here's some statins and here's some Ozempic. And he's like, no, I'm going to try it the other way first, because once you go on those things, it's hard to get off without, and bad things could happen. So he did it all natural, changed the way he ate, started doing CrossFit and other stuff, and he had amazing results. The doctor said, when looking at his blood, hey, looks like all the stuff that I prescribed is working. And he said, actually, I didn't do any of it. I did this. And by the way, I'm firing you and going to go get another doctor. So anyway, high intense interval training. What is that? It's basically, you do like somewhere between 30 seconds and 2 minutes of a movement, and then you move on. So it uses the idea of Dr. Tabata, who came up with the Tabata style. So it's 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest to give yourself the most bang for the buck. Yes, that is a great way to work out. It just gets incredibly boring if you do that all the time. So I like to keep it constantly varied. I like to change it up. So there are many people that love HIIT style training, and there are many opportunities out there to get involved with it. Like you could do like a burn boot camp style. That's going to be HIIT. You could do the F45 or the even the F3. Like I guess F3 is not necessarily that. It's more about, well, what is F3? It's fitness, faith, and friendship or something like that. And they meet early in the morning usually, and they do body weight stuff. And it's going to be in that intense arena, except if they do a lot of jogging. There are a lot of opportunities out there to get into businesses or gyms that kind of hammer down into this business. Is it the right one? Is it the best one? Man, that's really for you to determine. Something is better than nothing. I don't like the fact that in most of these, nothing is tracked. So you come in, you do a thing, you're like, yeah, I feel like I did a work, but do you even know if you're getting better? You should be getting better and healthier, but I like to track stuff. I like to log stuff. This is one reason I like CrossFit. It's tracked and measured. It's not only, from the heart, I feel better, but it's also from the mind. I can look at my data points and see that, in fact, I am able to lift more, do more reps, move faster. So it's one of the reasons why we do the every other month test. So we have a even month test and an odd month test. And we'll do that all of 2025, and then we'll change it out. I've actually got one that I'm going to put together for the Worldwide WOD Gym Resolutions. It's 3 workouts that we sort of changed. It's Helen, Grace, and Karen, except we change them a little bit. And we'll use those to track year to year. So that'll be coming up. Maybe I'll do that in November, December, somewhere in there. So I forgot to move the screen here. I left it on the one thing. Anyway, there's a picture of wearables. Here's a picture of HIIT workouts. It's kind of funny. It's always a chick doing a thing, but anyway. So the next question is, hey, what is the difference between a coach and a trainer? Yeah, so that's a bit of a nuance. A coach is usually trying to push you towards a specific result. And then a trainer is simply making sure you're moving, right? So and you're going to have to meld those two. I would say that most of the time, it's the most principle. Most of the time, most of the people mostly blur the lines of those things. So like a personal trainer, this is probably the worst example, but if you take a personal trainer at a place like, Lifetime. So they just want to make sure that you're putting in the reps. They do want you to get better, but they may not be correcting form or anything. They're just making sure that you're sweating. Maybe they're on their phone and they move you from spot to spot and they're like, I don't know, like it's the movement piece. A coach is anytime they're going to watch you and help you perform better despite the sweaty bit. Like I may coach a soccer team and tell them we're not touching the ball today because I'm trying to build a point. And so they may break your personal goal, like I want to be sweaty today, to get you to the other goal, which is actually my real goal is not to be sweaty, it's to be healthy and live longer. So if you have a greater why, I want to play good soccer and win games, then they're going to move you toward that. So a coach will get you off the beaten path and to watch your specific performance and help drill in, even though you may feel like it's not hitting the thing you thought you should do today. So coaching and training. I actually think a coach is worth more money. It's kind of more like a mentor. A coach is worth more money than a trainer. I just watching you get sweaty. So I guess be thinking about that. It's a tough one. And I don't know. I think the easier way to figure out what you're working with is to use the person or the service or whatever it is for a month and see what happens. Does it fit your goals? I just would say that you need to realize if they don't ask, then, well, let me take it back. If you come to CrossFit Garage, the assumption is you want to be healthier. Otherwise, why would you be here, right? We make it well known that we are not going to get you to the CrossFit Games type of gym. So that shouldn't be on your plate. But if nobody ever asks, that would be weird. I usually do text out everybody and eventually say something like, hey, what is your goal? Why are you here? So we should know that. We should be aiming you towards that. And if you're listening to the podcast, you know what we're trying to give you. And so you're probably getting on the train that we're on. So that makes sense. But if you hire a trainer and they never actually ask you what are your goals, that's a red flag. You should watch out for that. So a good coach cares, and they're going to ask you, hey, what are we looking to do today as well as long term? For example, rule number 1, show up. I know that's going to move the needle. Rule number 2 is don't do anything stupid today to prevent you from showing up tomorrow, right? So I'm looking out for your tomorrow. Okay, so it's a bit more of a nuancy one. It's kind of like looking at the difference between health and wellness. I like CrossFit's continuum. So they've got you are healthy if your heart rate is 70 beats per minute. I don't know. Or maybe you're well. I think that's what it is. You're well if you're 70 beats per minute. You're healthy if it's 60 beats per minute. And we use health as a hedge against the sickness because we have to pass through wellness. So I would say look for somebody that is pushing for your health and your wellness and meeting the goals that you want. Okay, so another one was, what about programming? Why do we pick what we pick? I pick CrossFit affiliate programming because it is CrossFit programming for the affiliates who pay them money to say, hey, we're into CrossFit. So we do CrossFit. It is not strength biased. It is not endurance biased. You can do that on your own. You could always lift heavier and go slower, or do less weight and have more, change it to 30 minutes of working out. You can always do that. It is a well-known fact now, after 20-something years of doing this, that CrossFit works and the dosing works. So constantly varied functional movements executed high intensity sometimes, right? And then we define fitness as, actually, how do we define that? It is something like it's work across varying degrees of modes and time throughout your life. So it's work capacity across broad modal domains, time and modal domains, that's it. So it's a very funky way to say, we just want to see how much work you can put out. So a deadlift is a high amount of work. That is, your work is force times distance, so that's work. And then power is force times distance or work divided by time. So we want to see how fast you can apply force over a distance, right? And that creates your work capacity. So if we can bring the work capacity up, then you are healthier by definition because you're doing more. Okay, so what should you pick? Man, again, going back to pick what works, the thing you'll do. The thing you'll do is way better than the thing that's awesome and you'll never do. So pick the thing you'll do. So if you like to run, then great. Make it a running program. You can see here, I just typed in programming workouts. So there's Heavy Coach, there's Mayo Clinic, there's Nerd Fit. I guess that's one of my favorite. It showed up. I've never researched the other ones. I don't know why they came up. CrossFit, obviously. There's Healthline, Pure Gym, Train Heroic, Gymshark, Nourish Move Love, again CrossFit, True Coach, Darby, I don't even know what that is. Very Well Fit, Muscle and Fitness, Team Builder, Bar Bend. I mean, there's tons of things you can sign up for. You can sign up for ours, garagefitness.online. Anything will work. Anything's better than nothing. But lean into the stuff that you like. And if you're not sure what you like, talk to somebody or talk to ChatGPT and say, tell it, I want you to act like a personal trainer and develop a program that makes sense to me based on the things I like. And then ask me questions about the things I like so we can narrow it down. Maybe you're the type of person that wants to be out in the woods or walking with a dog or with a friend. I don't know. But if you find the thing that fits you better, you're going to do it more often. And there's no better measurement or projected success rate to the thing you do than adherence to actually doing it. So basically, show up. So you want to do the thing that'll make you show up. If you're an individual person, you want to work out by yourself, you're a loner, I can't think of the word, when you hate socializing, it's introvert. If you're an introvert and you're like, well, I don't like going to the gym, well, then don't do that. Get some dumbbells and do it at home. If you like to be around some people, or at least moving with some people, or you like common adversity, so we suffer together, then yeah, join a gym of some sort where there's classes, right? Okay. Yoga and holistic wellness. I guess it was kind of weird that those two got paired together. So yoga is basically, I guess, all right, I suppose I'm looking at it from the stretching point of it, but it could be holistic where I am calming down. I think the bigger part here is there is a brain benefit and a body benefit. So wellness is not just your heart, but it's also your brain and your emotions, right? So you could do things like box breathing to, right, to calm yourself down, the 4 seconds of box breathing. You could join a group to help with mental health, right? Sometimes it's just connection. So what is it that you're looking for? Again, you need to dive in and decide. I do think stretching is got a huge impact on your body. I stretch and roll out every time after we work out. Is that yoga? No. I also can't hold those poses for 2 to 5 minutes because I just get so bored. So yoga is not for me, but the holistic approach is, and you could look at it from things like, hey, what am I drinking for my water? So go through a checklist. You could, again, ask the internet or an AI, give me a holistic approach to health and wellness. What does it look like? Not just mind, but also body and spirit. And it'll go through it with you. Again, it's going to go back to the 5 pillars, right? How you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. And really, think and connect are very overlooked, but should be a huge part of what you do. I think a funny one in here is people talk about like hitting it every day. I do think consistency is king, but you need to actually understand how much recovery you need. So we just did Murph. A bunch of people are like, oh no, my arms are sore today. Like, no crap. You just did 100 pull-ups and 200 push-ups. Yes, your arms are sore. What did you expect? Well, not that. Okay, well, what should I do? Today is a recovery day then. I would still go do something because something is better than nothing. And something will get the lactic acid and such off your muscles. So I would do some ring rows and some knee push-ups because it's going to help you. But you need to understand that. You need to understand your body, and you need to work out enough or journal enough so that you know what you need. If you don't do anything, then you'll never know that, right? I think there's another piece in there for the holistic kind of the mind side that people skip out on, and that's the gratitude practice. So, if you're going to go outside and get morning sun, then practice gratitude. Thank you for, whether you're thanking God, the universe, your spouse, I don't think it really matters. I think there's something inside of you that when you speak it and you're actually grateful for it, you start focusing on the glass is half full rather than the negative. So just make sure you're thinking about that stuff. Okay, so another one that came up was body image, nutrition, and real wellness. So I'm going to lump these kind of together. Body image, man, that is a tough one. I find very few people who are happy with their body image, even when they're doing many of the things. I think it's mostly going to be reframing in your head what body image is and being happy with where you're at and going to. So could I personally be thinner? I guess. Do I want to be? No. So I'm actually happy with where I'm at. I don't know very many people that will say that. Muscular wise, I could be bigger, but I know it's going to make me weigh more, and I like to jog and do these adventure races, so weighing more wouldn't be great. So do I really want to be bigger? Yes, but no. So I think it's more of like get inside your head on body image. Here's the thing though. Most of your body image in nutrition is going to be done in the kitchen. So one of our coaches, Coach Jennifer, she has inkbarbell.fitness, and you can hire one of our coaches to help walk you through your nutrition. I'll put a link. It's pretty easy, inkbarbell.fitness, but I'll put a link in the show notes. She'll walk you through everything. I think the first thing you could do is track your what you eat in an app. So get your phone out and use MyFitnessPal or MyNet Diary or whatever and track for 2 weeks. you're going to see a lot of things that are eye-opening, and you're like, dang, I didn't know I was doing that. So I would say on the body image, it's mostly you need to fix the way you think about it. Like social media, of course they're going to filter, and of course they're going to say the things. Social media's whole agenda, like this right here, is to capture your attention. Now, I'm not trying to capture your attention with like I hate when you go to YouTube or any of the, I guess when you do a search and they're like, the 5 things you should never do. Well, that's just like clickbait, right? I don't do that. Here's what we're talking about. Listen or don't listen. I think you should find people that you resonate with over time. So try a bunch of podcasts, try a bunch of social media. See the ones that really resonate. Don't go for the clicky and the flashy. You need to get away from that. They're just trying to get your attention. I heard Gary Vee say he thinks there's going to be an explosion of AI-based influencers. So now it's not humans influencing you anymore. It's people creating AI that can do it better because they never quit and influence you. And it's going to be so dang nichey, and they're not going to care if there's only like 5 or 6 followers because it's really easy to do. And one of the most valuable things is your attention. But more than your attention, it's what you spend money on. So if you're going to give it attention, typically you are going to spend money on it. So these AI bots, these AI influencers are going to be looking for your attention and your money. So if they've got 4 followers, it doesn't matter if they're giving them money, right? So just watch out for that. I have nothing to sell you. You have to come to the gym to get a thing from me. I do this because I want you guys to be healthier and fit. I have a passion in my life to help people live longer, especially men in their 50s pluses, because that's where I am, to live longer. We die like flies. Apparently it's called the drop dead years, and I don't want that to happen to us. I will do an entire podcast on Evan's journey again, and I'll lace in my journey. We're getting close to 11 months of carnivore eating. I basically eat the same things every day. It's some sort of ruminant meat like beef, venison, bison, elk in a steak format or a grounded format. Eggs, I have my own chickens. I also buy eggs because I never have enough. And actually, I got a funny story on the chickens I'll tell you in a second. And salt and coffee and goat cheese. That's it. I've been eating the same thing. No vegetables. Every once in a while, I'll have a avocado because my wife's like, hey, you should have some sort of vegetable. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think you do. And I'm okay. And I'm moving. And my blood work is good. So it is weird. This whole carnivore journey has been quite incredible for me. I did not really think this was possible. Maybe for other people, but not me. But here I am, that guy. So yeah, I should probably do a whole thing on that. Anyway, the funny story in the chickens. I've got chickens. I would never, let's see. You should raise chickens just to see what it's like. But it's better to find somebody that's already doing it and overpay them for their eggs because it's a fiasco and it's a process if you're going to have them out in the wild. Mine all free range, and so they die a lot, and so that's a problem. I got to keep making more and making more. And anyway, I knew the chickens were hiding eggs somewhere. I couldn't find them. Well, we went away for the Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend, come back, and my mother-in-law says, hey, there are baby chicks out there. So sure enough, there's baby chicks. How did they get there? I don't know. Somebody, one of the hens, sat on a bunch of eggs that I can't find, and the possums, coyotes, raccoons, owls, nothing got them. Usually they go in the hen house at night because they put themselves away. They know it's dangerous. I do let my dog out there, so he's probably chased away most things, but he hurt his leg, so I haven't let him out lately. Anyway, the chicken made it for about 25 days and hatched some eggs. Now I've got little baby chicks running around, so I'm trying to find the chicks and move them into a safe zone I built, but it's funny that nature will find a way, but also, even as controlled as I tried to be with, giving the chickens a place to lay their eggs, they still go off and do whatever it is they do. I guess Mother Nature is going to win everything in the end. And we detonate atomic bombs, yet Mother Nature comes back and reclaims the land. It's just crazy. So I suppose the reason I tell you that is follow nature. It is going to win anyway. Don't let some of your tendencies fight nature. Nature says, hey, we are adaptable beings. We should go out there and adapt. So go out there and do stuff. Don't just sit down. I'm sitting at a desk right now. Just don't sit all day. My body has multiple ways it can move. Don't make it just sitting. Go out there and let your body adapt just like Mother Nature would. So I'm sure Mother Nature is going to adapt to the way I'm trying to do the chickens and end up killing more of them. But That's just how it works. Okay, guys. There are a lot of things you can do for your health and fitness. There are a lot of questions out there that baffle the world. Is there a bullet to solve all the problems? No. It's going to depend on who you are and what you're looking for. I would say the cheat code is go do some CrossFit with people that care and a coach that gives a crap and do carnivore. But that might not be for everybody. I really do believe that there are different body types that respond differently to the stimulus around you. So maybe yours is I run only or I lift only. I doubt those are as prevalent as we may think, but if there are blood types out there, our literal fluid in our body can be different to operate our body, then it must be true that our digestions can be different. Our energy pathways could be different. The way we perceive the world is obviously different, right? So find the thing that works for you. I would say, get a journal, get something to write down and journal your life and the things that are going on so that you can actually find what it is for you. If you find yourself to be a happy, humble, helpful person who just wants to be healthy and fit now as well as in your 90s, then that's us at CrossFit Garage. Come join us. If you don't have a gym. If you have a gym, great, do your thing. We typically have 100 to 150 members, and that's where we like to stay. It fits our procedures really well. If we grew outside of that, I would have to change locations and buy more gear and all that. This works really well for us, so this is what we do. We've been doing it for a very long time. We opened up in 2008, so man, we're getting close to a 20-year mark. I've been doing CrossFit longer than that, but it's been a great journey. So that's the type of people we are. We are fun people. We are the glasses half full type of people. We are let's get it done type of people. Maybe you're becoming that person. That's okay. Come join us. We'll help you on that road. We have coaches that care. We have coaches that do this because they want to be better at coaching and they find enjoyment in this. The coaching money is not great. They don't do it for money. They do it because they love you guys and they want to see you grow. If you're in the Woodstock area, come see us. If you're not in Woodstock, then yeah, listen, do our free stuff. Join us online. We're here for you just as much as I can be. Obviously, in person is a whole lot easier, but not everyone can live here in Woodstock. We do other fun things. We got a men's group that's going to go out and do some sporting clays. I guess we'll have done it by the time this podcast comes out. We're doing this summer board games and D&D over at my house. Come join us. We got a lot of other stuff going on. If you're looking for a community, if you're looking for that connection, we talked about the 5 pillars. The last one is connection. It's probably the most important and the people that live the longest, but it's the most overlooked. Come connect with us. Find your people. We're going line dancing every other Tuesday. That's Olivia's thing. And yeah, we're going to do it. So I should put it as an official thing, but we'll be there. It's in Reformation Brewery in downtown Canton. So come join us. Guys, we are here for you. We want you to be the best version of you, and we want to help you get there. You do not have to do this alone. Remember, it's how you eat, think, move, and connect. And there was another one. It's how you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. We want to help you on the journey. And I guess it's not always the same answer. The best answers start with it depends. So if you're looking for a place where you can find your fit, possibly we are it. We are not the answer for everybody. If you're a competitive asshole, then we're not for you. If you're into extreme calorie deficit dieting, we're not for you. If you're into harshing on someone's mellow, we're not for you. We are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now as well as in their 90s. All right, guys, this is Andy McCann here with you on food, fitness, and finance, trying to help you lay a firm foundation in those 3 things. Y'all take care.